nation. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my goodness. Monday Night Raw. I'm not even going to waste... I'm not even going to waste the time. I'm not going to waste the time with the music, with the ha-has. Hey, everyone. I'm just... Tonight's not that night. It's really not. Tonight's not that night. Tonight's Raw started with a bang, with the announcement of the women being the ones who are going to main event WrestleMania in 2 weeks, which is a huge deal. It's a big deal. It's important. It matters. It's a deal. It is historic to a bit of a degree. I'm also, though, not going to sit here and lie to you guys, and I'm not going to bust your balls and lie to you and act like it's the biggest thing ever. Now, it's an important thing with the company in the terms of, yes, the women are finally getting their opportunity. Finally. But the road that we've taken to get to this point has been clunky, has been just unnecessary. I think unnecessary is a very good word, is a good way for me to describe it. Unnecessary. Outside of Ronda Rousey coming out and turning heel, which has been great. The Twitter battle that these two were having, Ronda and Becky, was awesome. It was interesting. It was something that I could look forward to, and then that I enjoyed quite a bit. Outside of that, though, it's not really been anything great. It started off hot after the Rumble, but then Becky, the whole knee thing happened, and it all just started to crumble. Now, I am happy that these women are getting the opportunity to finally main event a WrestleMania. I am thrilled. And I think it's well deserved. I think anyone who's not a sexist and not just living under a rock and not just a complete jerk can realize that yes, this is important. That this is well deserved for the women. The women have been one of the best things on TV for months now. And it has all revolved around Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte. You gotta give Charlotte her due. It's revolved around her as well. However, at the same time, I can't live with the unnecessary things that have come along with it. It's dragged the story down. It's dragged it down to a point that I've started to lose interest outside of Ronda's attitude change, outside of the fact that she's just been ruthless about everything. Now, I saw the news broke today, but I chose to do the video on the Hall of Fame instead because I knew I'd get an opportunity to talk about it more here. I don't know what to say. I mean, clap for the women. Hey, you guys deserve it, I guess. Guess I could do that, right? It doesn't matter how I feel. This is this is something big. This is something, really big. Especially if you have a child like me, my daughter, who's at home with her mom and her stepdad and does watch this wrestling. And I hope that my daughter looks at this and says that this is a big deal. I hope this inspires my daughter to go do something real. That's, honest to God, for me, is the biggest thing that I can get out of this. I'm going to tear up. Seeing the women be able to main event WrestleMania, that was, even in the Attitude Era, growing up, the women were never a featured thing. The women were nothing to the level that they are now. There were those women who could probably have put on a fantastic match, but not to the level of these women. No disrespect to Victoria, to Trish, to Lita, to the Molly Hollies, to the Ivories. No disrespect to those women. I mean, no disrespect. But the Sashas, the Baileys, the Beckys, the Charlottes, to a certain degree, the Sonya Deville's. There are women on this roster, the Asukas, poor Asuka has been treated like garbage. There are women now who could main event WrestleMania at any point. The door's open now to where WrestleMania is no longer the men main eventing. That era is over. And for me, the biggest takeaway is the effect it can have on my daughter and how she can perceive things for her and for whatever it is that she's going to want to do. She's 10 right now. She's only 10. It is the one thing that I can take from this and have hope that her and other girls her age and other girls who are coming into their own and looking at something to say, I can do this. Now, I know a lot of people are saying Captain Marvel was that thing that could really get little girls, and Captain Marvel is a good movie. A really good movie. And it can inspire. But I'm a wrestling fan. First and foremost. I'll do movies. But first and foremost, I am a wrestling fan. And for me, this is what I want my daughter to see. Because there have been leading women in leading roles in Hollywood. Maybe not in, superhero movies. But there's been that before. But there's never been women to ever, in the 35 WrestleMania or the 34 WrestleManias prior, to ever even come close to main eventing. And it seems like every year, no matter what the positioning is, outside of, I could say WrestleMania 32 was the best positioning the women had had at WrestleMania in a very long time. That triple threat to crown a women's championship, who featured two of the women. It was a fantastic match. But this match takes it to such another level that you finally get to have the women main eventing a WrestleMania. I know there were other things that happened on this show, but to me, none of them matter. None of them mean anything to the degree in which these did. I may not be able to always be there for my daughter, to tell her the things that she can do, to tell her just how much she could do. That I hope that her mom will sit with her, and that her stepdad will sit with her and say, look what these girls are doing. I want to sit there with her. I'm just not going to be able to. But I'll call her and I'll talk to her and I'll explain to her, honey, you need to watch WrestleMania with Daddy Mike. You need to sit and watch WrestleMania with Mike and Mommy. And you need to watch these girls go on last. You could do that if you wanted to. You could do anything you want, because these women did something, honey, that no one else ever was able to do before. And for me, like I said, that is the biggest takeaway. That it can inspire my daughter. It can inspire other little girls to go out and do what they want to do and know that nothing can hold them back. Forget about the build. Forget about the lackluster effort of creative to try. And I have a cat just going effing nuts in this house right now. And I can't take her. Oh, this cat's just on my nerves. She's walking away, thankfully. She's in heat. But none of that matters. None of that matters as long as it takes some little girl and it gives her hope. It gives her that inspiration. Whether she's 5 years old, 4, 14, or 24. Maybe you're in your early 20s and you still don't know what you want to do. Look at this and say, these women, yes, wrestling is predetermined. It's already set up. But it doesn't take away from the fact that this has been a men's business. That men were meant to headline WrestleMania. And they've had some doozies matches. Some very, very great matches. But now you can go back, when you look at all those people who main evented WrestleMania, you can look and you can say Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, and Becky Lynch main evented WrestleMania. And to me, that is the biggest, the best thing we can take out of this. Yes, I think the build has been less than great outside of what they've been doing with Ronda. But at this moment, I'll take it. I'll take this because, again, it's... And I know I sound like maybe I'm repeating myself. And maybe to a certain extent I am. But it's something I know that my daughter can look at. And my daughter can just be happy. My daughter can be inspired by. And that is my biggest takeaway, my thoughts for the most part about this. And I'm sure I'll get into this again when I do the preview and predictions next week. Man. You know, it is... I'm... And I know this is a corporate agenda, okay? To give them that last first ever. Okay, they're out of first evers. This could be their last first ever. And I get it. It's a corporate agenda. But I can honestly sit here and I can honest to God, say to you that I am proud. Not as a wrestling fan, but as a father, that I can see the women main event WrestleMania. Proud as a father of a little girl who could one day do anything she wants. I am so proud to be able to know that my little girl is going to get to witness this and see these women finally get to the point where they're main eventing WrestleMania. this makes me so happy that my little girl's going to get to see this. And I know to a lot of people that maybe this isn't important. Maybe it's not a big deal. But to me, oh my gosh, my light just got brighter. Woo! But to me, it's everything. It's everything that I could want. Now, as far as what they did tonight, this Beat the Clock challenge. Sorry, I gotta come back to reality. Okay, I've had my moment to just give my full-on emotional feeling of this match. As far as tonight goes, what was the point? What was the point in this Beat the Clock challenge? It had nothing for it. There was nothing to... nothing on the line. There was nothing that anyone got out of it. There was nothing. It was just, yep, we're going to do a Beat the Clock challenge just to see who can win the quickest, I guess. There was no stakes involved in tonight's Beat the Clock challenge. So what, I ask you, what was the point? There was no point. So for that, this Beat the Clock challenge, it was pointless. It was a pointless Beat the Clock challenge with nothing behind it. And that is what is deterring a lot of people away from this story. Now, if you're watching over social media and you're seeing what Ronda and Becky are doing amongst each other on social media, then yeah, you're like, this is great. But that's even died off. That's died off. It's a complicated, yeah, it's a complicated thing. You know, it's maybe it's basically coming to maybe I'll do this, you know, maybe I'll actually, you know, make an effort this week if I'm creative. I booked it on Monday Morning Creative, the very first episode. The simplest way to book this. You could still involve Charlotte. Becky would be involved. Hell, I even went back over it in the second episode and said, okay, fine, this is the route they went, but here's how they could have done it. Just, it was different, but it's still another way they could have done it. But I'm not going to sit here. This isn't the episode where I do that. No, this is the episode where I review Monday Night Raw. Sometimes, unfortunately, but it's okay. I'm cool. I'm cool with doing a Monday Night Raw review. I really am. So yeah, this is your Monday Night Raw review. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get this other crap out of the way, and then I'll go ahead and get into the actual review. Patreon.com/YoBroNation. You guys can become a patron by going to Patreon. Excuse me. 6 tiers to choose from. Exclusive videos. Maybe you guys noticed there was no classic Raw review. Well, that's because that's going back to being just an exclusive on Patreon, just for Patreon members. I've done enough episodes to try to hook you guys. It is going to be a Patreon exclusive episode. It will be up on Tuesday mornings, not Mondays, Tuesday mornings, because Monday Morning Creative is what takes up the Monday slot. But also exclusive AEW reviews. I'll be doing some AEW coverage on there at points, but mainly for the reviews. You guys can get to vote on the Retro Rewinds. I actually posted that on Patreon this week. Gifts for your birthdays. Classic Raw reviews. All that stuff. I was supposed to do a Retro Rewind, actually, now I'm thinking about it, but I decided to hold it off till next week, just to keep the traditional off and on again. I didn't want to try to do 2 and then try to figure out where to go from there. So next week, plus I'll get a best of the best countdown for WrestleMania. So that is something, because I have a special best of the best countdown planned for Mania. So if Patreon isn't your thing, look, there's 6 tiers to choose from. You guys can go in there, check it out yourselves. If there's something in there you like, by all means, go ahead, become a Patreon member. If that's something you don't want to do, you can go to Streamlabs, donate as little as $1. It's up to you. It's a one-time thing. Or you guys can go to our TeePublic store, teepublic.com/YoBroNation1. I know the link is wrong. I messed up on the link. Oh well. All these shirts you guys can choose from. You got the classic YoBro Nation, YoBro Gaming and Reviews. You got the best of the best countdown. You got the YoBro Mania t-shirts. Maybe you guys noticed I'm actually wearing one. You got the Queen inspired t-shirt, the Recess Never Gets Old t-shirt. You got the Veterans t-shirt for the YoBro Gaming and Reviews. All this stuff is on the TeePublic store. Plus you get bags, you get phone cases, you get notepads, you get cups, you get mugs, you get little posters. All that stuff is on the TeePublic store. It's on the website. You guys more than welcome to go on there and check all the fantastic good stuff out. So the best way, and it's free for you guys to help support the channel, is to like this video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the notification bell, and then share it with your friends. Tell your friends about us, send them over here, and tell them Freddie sent you. That's stupid. It's a reference. It's a reference if you got it. So, let's go ahead and let's get into this Raw review. This is your Raw review for March 25th, 2019. Yes, I'm not live. I am recording. I will be recording my reviews pretty much from here on out. So that's why I say make sure you hit your notification bells. But if you don't have notifications, you can check us out on Twitter and everything, and you guys can actually be able to catch the videos on there as well. So, the show started off with the Beat the Clock challenge, and it started with Ronda and Becky and Charlotte cutting promos, and basically the Riot Squad were just kind of there. Despite the announcement of the women and the importance that the women play, they still didn't, well, how do I put this? They still didn't put a lot of effort into this, I guess you could say. So, you guys give me a second here. I am doing something real quick. Ignore the sound in the background. You guys just got to ignore it. Yeah, I'm just setting up because, okay, I was looking for the promos by these guys. So, okay, everything is. What in the world did I just do? I did not hit that. What in the world? I hate how sometimes this does things like that. I know. You guys are seeing me literally in front of you trying to fix everything. Okay, everything is good. Alright. So like I said, it's kicked off with Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky kind of doing their promos, right? So we opened up with the Raw Women's Champion and this Beat the Clock challenge, and again, I don't know what was the purpose of doing this. There was nothing on the line. There was no stakes. No winner pick stipulation or anything of that nature. It was just the women doing this match for the sake of putting them on the show in a segment that took about 6 minutes of time outside of the promos. But I am going to go ahead and I'm going to kick off, and this is going to be this is going to be Ronda Rousey, I guess, telling you what she thinks. Yes, we want Becky chance.
For the first time ever, women are going to be the main event at WrestleMania. For the Raw Women's Championship, it's going to be me versus Charlotte versus Becky. And I only have one thing to say. You're welcome.
Oh, but wait. There's more. There's more. She wasn't done yet.
Actually, I do have something else to say. Not that any of you appreciate anything that I say or have accomplished for that matter, but I have a promise. For every one of you, I am going to tap out Charlotte and Becky at the same time at WrestleMania, and that's all I have to say.
No, wait. Hold on.
Ronda Rousey, a woman of few words.
There's
her
more.
actions do the talking.
More?
She's got more to say, guys. She ain't done yet. She's not done yet.
There actually is something else I have to say. I have no idea what a beat the clock challenge is. It sounds like another one of your BS gimmicks you have going on around here. So let's just get this farce over with, okay? That's all I have to say.
And then Becky made her arrival.
It's good to be back in Boston. Now, Ronnie, stop being a little weirdo. We all know you came in here with your big money contract and the whole world yawned.
It's not a lie.
You were given every opportunity, every advantage, only wrestled the best of the best, and still nobody gave a damn until the man came around. I think these people know the best thing that ever happened to you was me. I saved your title run. I make you better, and that is why we are the main event of WrestleMania. And one more thing. And one more thing. You know how this ends. At WrestleMania, with your title above my head and your skull beneath my foot.
And Charlotte came out.
Ronda, Becky, blah, 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 blah. So much noise. Yes, the women are the main event. Not because of what Becky's done the last 6 months. Not because of what Ronda's done over the past year. No, it's because of what I've done the last 7 years. That's why I was hand-picked to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Because of who your daddy is.
Woo! That's right.
And that is how that entire segment started. Look, there's a little bit of truth into what Becky Lynch says, and you got these reports that the whole character change with Ronda started because of a real-life issue and her real-life sensitivity to criticism when it comes to things, and that she really, really did feel offended about everything. So, I guess so. Look, so then that's pretty much what started the entire match. And I got my notes here, and I'm getting my notes ready. So, yes, you had the whole promo. This was the match. So, Sarah Logan just started immediately just running. Started running the ring. Ronda runs over the Riot Squad. Gets in the ring. Sarah Logan attacks her. Starts, kicking and punching her. She's got a little bit of advantage. Puts her in a Texas cloverleaf. Ronda climbs the ropes and then gets her into an armbar. Then gives her like a running high knee to the face. Gets her into the armbar, and she taps out. It took about 1:25 seconds. It was 1:25 seconds of nothing. Right afterwards was Charlotte versus Ruby Riott. This went back and forth. Charlotte attempted a natural selection at about a minute. Didn't get it. Finally get in the figure 8, but time expired. After the words, Liv Morgan distracted Becky when she got in the ring, and Charlotte hit her with a big boot, like a big sidekick. So then we get Becky versus Liv Morgan, with Liv Morgan just, attacking Becky right out of the gate. Obviously, she already got the advantage. Becky, comes back with a series of shots, tries to get her into the disarmor. Liv escapes. But Becky then rolls her up into a bridging pin combination and gets the 3 count. So Becky wins the Beat the Clock challenge by literally beating the time by like 2 seconds or something like that. So afterwards you see Ronda on the ramp just kind of trash talking Becky, and Becky trash talking her, and Charlotte just in the background where she belongs with nothing to do with this. Oh, and by the way, Boston was a beautiful crowd tonight. Thank you, Boston. But you could have been better. Could have been better. So this whole thing took up that first 15, 20-ish minutes of the show. Again, them main eventing to me is awesome. It's what I want. It is, to me, without a doubt, a fantastic thing. A fantastic thing. But at the same time, just this opening, there was no point to this opening. There was no point to this opening. So for that, it was nothing. There was nothing. It was just to say, look, the women are the main event, and now they're going to be in a match. And now we know next week they're going to be in a 6-woman tag. And the stipulation is, if they don't work together next week, then whoever doesn't work with the team is immediately ejected from the triple threat. So it could come down to a 1-on-1, or it could come down to a nothing. Just a nothing. So there'd be no main event. Which we know they'll work together for the sake of the match. Just so they can keep their positions. Unless, Ronda, hey, I'm Ronda. I can do what I want. You won't punish me. Maybe Ronda will go rogue to try to prove a point. But that'd be dumb. It'd be so more convolution, or make it more convoluted than it already is. And we don't need that. So I'm going to move on. I think I've spent 35 minutes on just the women. I'm going to move on with the rest of this. So this is the first of many Elias in New York things. Elias is at Times Square. He's talking about the people who performed there at Times Square, but none like him. He starts to go ahead and perform, but then some New Yorker walks up to him, starts playing, and he basically trash talks him and tells him to go sell out a Subway. He's got to focus on WrestleMania. And this is just the first of many. But it was cool seeing him actually out in New York. It was a change rather than seeing him just backstage or in the ring. You actually get to see him in New York doing some stuff. Aleister Black and Ricochet versus The Revival, which we've seen twice already. What is this leading to? We still don't know what this is leading to. This was not at all one of the better matches that these guys have had. This was subpar compared to what they do. I'm not even going to really jump into the specifics of these matches tonight. This was a very talk-heavy episode of Raw. These are the hard ones to get through, people. These are the hard ones to get through because you got so much talking. So much talking. Aleister Black and Ricochet, it's just basically back and forth. You get some NXT chants at the beginning of the match, you know. The end of the match, though, you know, you got Ricochet getting over. He fights back. He gets this kick. He hits a neck breaker and dash. Both guys tag out, so you get Black and Scott Dawson in. They're fighting back and forth. Aleister Black gets control. He gets Dash put down. Black goes for a black mass, but Dash pulls Ricochet down. Sorry, guys. I gotta check my notes. The Revival are back in control. Black is able to hit a double black mass on both Dash and Dawson. Ricochet got the blind tag just before that, so Dash, I guess, was the legal man, I think, but I'm pretty sure Dawson was the legal man. So I don't know. I don't remember seeing a tag. He hits the 630 for the 3 count. They win again, so obviously this is setting them up for another title match, but then you'll probably get Revival added, and possibly, I'm hearing a rumor that the Authors of Pain could be added as a very last-second addition to this match. That's the rumor. Alright, and if you did watch Yo Bro Nation this past week, I did go over the WrestleMania 35 potential card, and there is a mystery possible team to make a fatal 4-way, even possible fatal 5-way, if I remember right. I'm not sure. So after all of this fun, we get Drew McIntyre out. Like I said, this was a very talk-heavy episode of Raw. So Drew McIntyre, he's going to come out. He wants a response from Roman Reigns. And he wants Roman Reigns to give him an answer on whether or not he's going. But he's begging him, don't take it, Roman. Don't take the challenge. Do it. Remember, think of your children and what I'll do to them. Or something like that. So this is Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, and Drew basically telling Roman, I will destroy you. He almost sounded like he's pretty much going to kill him. But here that is.
For the love of God, Roman, I hope your wife or one of your extended family got through that thick skull of yours and convinced you to just say no to my challenge. I've already vanquished the Shield. I exterminated that cockroach, Dean Ambrose.
Who was there tonight, by the way?
And what happened last week? Oh yeah, I beat the #1 contender for the Universal Championship.
Okay, real quick, not to sound like a douche here. He vanquished the Shield, but they reformed and beat him and his team, but he vanquished them. He destroyed or got exterminated the cockroach that's Dean Ambrose, but then Dean Ambrose was there tonight. It sounds like Drew isn't able to back up his words. God, I remember the last time something like that happened. But who? Oh yeah, it was Bray Wyatt. We've not seen him, and he's completely missing WrestleMania. But he's healthy.
Seth Rollins.
Please, WWE, don't fuck over Drew like you did Bray. Please.
I know what Roman Reigns wants to say. The superstar Roman Reigns wants to say, yes, I never turned down a challenge, but I'm going to appeal one more time to Joe, the man. Joe, the father. Joe, the husband. Think about your family. Haven't you put them through enough? Think of your children.
Ooh, he's bringing up the children. Oh.
Had to watch Daddy fight for his life already.
Ooh, he's digging deep, man. He's digging deep.
Do you want to put them through that one more time at WrestleMania?
I mean, it sounds like he's threatening to kill the man.
You're going to
Come
lose.
on. Okay. Those Roman chants are piped in.
I am going to stand here all night till I get my answer.
During the show.
I will hold Raw hostage. the big dog.
Roman accepts your challenge. But I want you to listen very clearly. What I'm about to say next isn't coming from Roman. Don't you ever run your mouth about my wife and kids.
Oh, and Roman Reigns unloading on McIntyre. He's hurt
And this basically leads to the brawl. A brawl that Drew ends up actually coming out on top after a low blow. He hits the Claymore. I know Roman's winning this match at WrestleMania, but we do have another Mania match confirmed that we kind of knew was coming. Woohoo! So yeah, it's good though. I know some people are like, oh, why? Why are we getting that? Well, it doesn't put... You don't want Roman in the main event. Well, he's not. He's not in the main event. So let's be happy. Roman is participating in a one-on-one match that will be lower down in the card. Okay, it's not going to be the main event. I don't even think it'll be one of the last 4 matches. I think it'll be maybe 6th, 5th to last. It'll be in the last half of the show. For sure, it'll be the last half of the show. The last couple hours of the show. But I think that's a good spot. I am particularly, personally interested in this match. Just 2 big guys. But my God, watching Drew even tower over Roman. And Roman's not a short dude, but my God, Drew is... Dude is tall. Like, dude is really tall. Oh my God, I didn't realize how tall he was. I really didn't. But so that to the side. I don't know what I'm saying. But it's cool. I'm interested. Geez, I was thinking of something and now I can't remember it. But afterwards, Dean's backstage. He says, "You exterminated me? Oh, look, exterminated." And then he challenged him to a last man standing match. So I'm gonna move on. I'll get to the Dean thing when we get to it. Natalya with Beth Phoenix versus Sasha Banks in her hometown of Boston, and her being accompanied with Bayley. This match was a good TV match. A very good TV match. Better than what they gave them last week. They gave them more time, but the match again ended in a no contest. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. So, let's see. Let's get to it. So, yeah. Sasha is trying to get out of the sharpshooter. Natalya kind of gets kicked to the outside. Sasha gets out there and she kind of rams her knee into the head with Natty against the barricade. Natty, though, does fight back. She's working over the back. Sasha gets it and counters it into a bank statement. Natalya rolls through into the sharpshooter. She's got Sasha in there. Sasha breaks and gets out of it. Nia and Tamina, though, show up. Like again, this is another match. It wasn't a long match, but it was an okay match. It was certainly a better match than the first one. So Nia and Tamina, if they show up, they attack Beth and Bayley on the outside. Then they get in the ring and they just attack the other two. Leaves Beth Phoenix in the ring by herself, and Beth ends up taking both women out by herself, leaving Natalya and Natty and Beth on the inside. I'm sorry, my brain's not functioning. It's getting late. Leaves them on the in the inside of the ring by themselves, standing tall. Now, what they do here, as I did mention this earlier, I did do a video on this, a short video, but I did talk about it. They didn't talk about the Hall of Fame induction of the Hart Foundation, of Jim and Brett. They show this beautiful package. Now, I said earlier I was not the biggest Hart Hart Foundation fan, and that's true. I wasn't super familiar with them. I didn't grow up watching them, but I appreciate what they do. That much I can say. I appreciate what they did, and I am a huge Brett fan. More so than I am Shawn. Actually, I think Brett's underrated, if you want to be honest. I don't think Brett gets enough credit for what he did. I digress. They show this beautiful package, and again, I'm not gonna retread over, or retread over what I've already said. It's good. This to me so far, next to DX, has been the best inductees into the Hall of Fame this year. Nothing against the Honky Tonk Man, nothing against Tori Wilson. I'm sorry. But to me, nothing against Harlem Heat even. This to me is the best inductees into the Hall of Fame. And for me, this induction isn't as much about Brett, and even when you read the article, this isn't Brett saying this is about me. He's putting even more of the iota on, this is for Jim. This is for Jim. And what really made me really care, I guess you could say, what really made me care, so I got a piece of gum. What really made me care, how they left Natty and Beth in the ring, they played this. And usually at this point, the people went to the back, and they're going to the next segment. But when they come back, Natty's in the ring, watching this, just crying. And my God, I felt for her. I felt like they rushed things with her over the summer when her dad passed away. And how some of it felt... I should have had a drink. Some of it felt forced. Some of it didn't feel natural to me. But this did. This felt natural. This felt important. And I felt the emotions from Natalya. I really did. And like I said, and I think anyone with a brain can figure out, Natalya will probably be there to induct them. She'll be the stand-in for her father with Brett. She'll be involved in it somehow. And if she's not, I'll honestly be surprised, because I don't know. Maybe Jimmy Hart inducts them. Jimmy was their manager. I think Jimmy is as much a part of this Hall of Fame induction as he is. He by all rights, should be a part of it. He was a big part of their team during their run. So, I'm not going to watch the Hall of Fame all the way through. I'll probably watch the clips, and I'll probably watch that part. In the past, I've done a review for the Hall of Fame, and it was a good Hall of Fame. I got quite a bit of views from it, but I'm not gonna sit there and review a whole. That's gonna be like a 4-hour event, and I'm already busy. I have a busy weekend next weekend for WrestleMania. I got a barbecue with the family. Gotta make some time for the girlfriend, man. She's important, and I want her to know that. So I gotta spend as much time with her. She knows it's gonna be a busy weekend. I've already warned her. It's like, look. So the Hall of Fame's just out of the question. We get a Kurt Angle interview, and he's asked why he picked to face Samoa Joe. And he says Samoa Joe will be a true test. He liked, every week can be handshakes and hugs. He says he appreciated Apollo Crews, he appreciated Chad Gable, but he will be ready for Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. So Baron Corbin comes in, he insults him about being old and this and that. You know what I just realized I did? I skipped over Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. I skipped over Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. Oh my gosh. You hear her? I hear her. She's in heat. Bad. She just does that. She just walks around making that sound, and it's like, because it sounds creepy. I don't know if anyone else here has had a cat in heat. Did they ever sound like that? Please tell me, did they ever sound like that? Okay, so real quick, I'm going to jump in this. Finn Balor took on Bobby Lashley. It was supposed to be with Lio Rush in a handicap. Jinder Mahal got put into it. But Finn Balor won. Finn Balor won it despite the interactions with everyone else from outside the ring. Finn Balor still won this match clean by pinning Jinder Mahal after a coup de grace. Wasn't really shocked. We're going to get Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. In all indications, it's going to be the Demon. We'll wait. We'll see how story develops next week. Can I stop doing this now? Can I? Okay. So yes, Baron Corbin and all of that. Oh, and did I mention Lio Rush took a shot at Rob Gronkowski, who retired? You weren't much outside of the Super Bowl this year anyways. We get a Sasha Bailey interview where they say that they'll basically take on both teams. They said they'd go to either any of the brands. They will take on all the teams. Then we get a moment of bliss. Oh, my goodness. So this is all centered around Braun Strowman, Colin Jost, and Michael Shea, who are on SNL. Basically, what this whole thing boiled down to is Braun Strowman wants them both to compete in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania so he can get his hands on them. That's Braun Strowman, the worst luck of WrestleMania history. 2 years, 32 and 33, he was a part of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Okay. WrestleMania 34, he's in a tag team title match with a 10-year-old kid. And this year, he's back in the Battle Royal, and his arch nemesis in this Battle Royal is two guys who have never wrestled, who are piss poor comedians. I'm sorry if you're fans of SNL. It's not funny anymore. I don't give a shit about SNL. It's garbage now. He's competing against these two schlubs in a battle royal. A battle royal that's meaningless and will probably take place on the pre-show. And they tried to make this funny. How one threw the other one under the bus, and the other one threw the other one under the bus, and oh, both of you shut up. Can you do this? Oh, no, I can't. I'm just kidding. I can do it. So, wait a second. You're also telling me that Alexa Bliss has the authority to make matches because she's the host of the show. What? Really? She can do that? Why? How? Who gave her that authority? I don't remember the other managers or other hosts in the past be able to make matches. If I'm wrong, tell me. Tell me. This segment was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. I don't give a damn about Braun Strowman facing off with comedians from SNL. Come on, this is supposed to be WrestleMania season, and that's the focus of the story. Jesus Christ. More Elias in New York. This time he's in front of Madison Square Garden. A guy hands him a quarter and he gets an idea. Ooh. Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews looked okay in this match, but it ended with a end of days. Baron Corbin won. It was just building towards WrestleMania. I am on the bandwagon with everyone else. I'm starting to think he's not. I think they're going to leave it all the way up to WrestleMania where you think it's going to be Baron Corbin, and then at the show, they're going to change it. They're not going to change it next week. I think they're going to let this happen and let people think this till the show, and then, nope, someone else is going to take the job. I'm pretty sure. I think that's exactly where this is going. So, but the match was fine. I don't care about the match, if you want me to be honest. So, all right. So we get a Seth Rollins promo, and this was a pretty good promo. Seth is getting a lot better on the microphone. But he talks about Brock Lesnar and their different paths to WrestleMania, and how the path though out of Mania will remain the same, and for one of them, they will affect the future of the industry. And of course, Paul Heyman is going to come out, and Paul Heyman's going to do what Paul Heyman does best, because that's Paul Heyman. So this is it. This is Seth Rollins' promo, and Paul Heyman pushes Seth too far. Ooh.
When I was a kid watching WWE, the champions that inspired me were guys like the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, hell, Triple H, even John Cena inspires people. But you know something? Brock Lesnar does not inspire people. Now it goes without saying that this match, guys, this is the biggest match of my entire career. And I've known how important it was to me for a long time. I've wanted this for a long, long time, but
I really want that
up
Beast
until
Slayer
recently,
shirt. That shirt is.
I didn't realize how important this match was to all of you. Now, I have to beat Brock Lesnar. I have to beat Lesnar because I refuse to let Brock Lesnar be the champion that defines the future of this industry. I cannot let that happen.
He doesn't define shit.
So in 13 days at WrestleMania, I'm gonna walk to that ring. I'm gonna get in there with Lesnar, that bully. A bully who's cast a shadow over me and over this entire industry.
That is a bad t-shirt,
But what Brock Lesnar does not understand is that with an army behind me, I am unstoppable.
Do you know how pathetic you sound,
That was
Seth?
kind of a weak.
Oh, you
That is a
need
good
their
one.
love.
That was
You need their support. You need their affirmation. What's next, kid? I know how your generation thinks. What are you gonna say? I need your thoughts and prayers. My Uncle Mushki is getting hernia surgery. I need your thoughts and prayers.
That little kid. This little kid.
Their
like
thoughts and their
Had to look like my
prayers.
son too.
Because Seth Rollins,
Looked like Liam.
you ain't got a thought in your head how to beat Brock Lesnar, nor a prayer in doing so. I don't want you to take it personally, Seth. When Brock Lesnar wins at WrestleMania, I want you to take it personally when you and the entire WWE Universe loses at WrestleMania.
And Seth
Rollins
goes up
giving
the
chase
ramp.
to Heyman.
This should get good.
He was pushed too far.
I'm an advocate. I'm sorry. I hope you win. I'm just an advocate. I'm Brock Lesnar's advocate. And you told me to say everything. It was all Brock's idea. Please.
Paul, you got it all wrong. I'm not asking for thoughts and prayers. I'm here to answer them. Because we are going to WrestleMania. We are gonna beat Brock Lesnar. We are gonna take the Universal title, and we are gonna march into Suplex City, and we are gonna
Seth Rollins proudly waving the flag for the WWE Universe, prepared to march into...
So yeah, that was Seth Rollins. The end was cheesy. We're gonna. If they said nothing, he would look stupid. Just saying. Can we not have to say burn? Can we just say, I'm going to burn this bitch down, I'm going to burn that fucker down? I mean, I know they can't say that, but come on. Can we do it with a little more emphasis? We don't have to pause and say more, okay? We can, I'm knocking everything down. I am such a klutz, I'm telling you. Hands off. Jesus Christ. So, I mean, I am interested in Seth versus Brock, but there is that slight fear, that slight little fear that Seth isn't going to win. That Seth will not be Universal Champion after WrestleMania. Just a small fear, just a tiny bit. But damn, if you don't let Seth win, then what was the point of all this? It'd be a mistake. But hey, you know what? They might end up saving Roman versus Brock for Saudi again. Saudi's in May, just a little more than a month after Mania, or just a little less than a month after Mania. They might just go ahead and do it. Why not? That's what WWE likes to do. But it was an okay promo. Nothing to. No, it's just, it is what it is. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. This feud, this rivalry, these matchups have seen much, much better days. Much, much, much better days. It was a okay match, but you can see with every passing week, Kurt is less and less capable of handling himself in the ring. Kurt is less and less capable of keep going. Man's wore out, and I got a cat in here. Get out. She's in here. I wish I had something to just kind of get her to go. She's got food. She's got food. I do need to wrap this up soon, though. I've been running, geez Louise, for over an hour already. So, the match was fine. Kurt Angle gets a comeback. Joe just basically beats him up. Cole does cut a savage promo at the beginning, telling him, you know, his going away gift's going to be putting him to sleep. But Kurt does make a comeback. Kurt counters a coquina clutch to get a pinfall for the victory. It was not a great match, and I hate saying this because I thought Kurt was such a great wrestler, and when I heard Kurt was coming back, I was legit excited. But I didn't realize in just the year that he would leave, or from the year that he would start back till this point, he would just deteriorate so bad in the ring. I can't be excited, even if it is John Cena. Will it make it more interesting? Yes, but not much more than what I'm getting with Baron Corbin. If I'm just to be real, not much more than I'm getting with Baron Corbin now. I'm not going to be that much more excited. So, but now we get to the Triple H portion of the show where we get to hear him talk about Batista, and I'm just going to let Triple H's words do the talking for himself. Now, he starts this off by thanking the crowd for the standing ovation through the entirety of the break, and then he congratulates the women on being in the main event of WrestleMania. Here's the rest of it.
This doesn't make me happy. This is a letter from Batista's lawyer. This letter states that Dave Batista will not be competing at WrestleMania this year. Unless I agree to yet one more stipulation. Now, this letter for the stipulation goes all over the place. It's kind of rambling and it goes on and on. Dave talks about a lot of things. He talks about his recent realization that I started Evolution as a way to protect my own assets and keep the world title around my waist longer. Really, Dave? You just figured that one out now, 13 years later, huh? Dave apparently had a big week. he realized that and that the moon is not made of cheese. So it was successful for him.
He's really good.
He also believes that Evolution did nothing for his career, but yet when he walked in Evolution, he was the deacon, carrying around a collection plate and following Devon Dudley around. But yet when he left Evolution, he was the world heavyweight champion. He also believes that my obsession with him prevented him, after he left Evolution, from having a meaningful career. But yet 6 world championships later, he only quit when he realized he just couldn't beat John Cena. The letter did eventually get to the stipulation, which I will read from this letter because I want to make sure that I accurately reflect Dave's feelings. Dave said, and I quote, "If you would like me to appear then at WrestleMania, you will give me what I want, what I really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna. I mean, this goes on and on.
Spice Girls reference.
It is like pages of I wanna. Basically, let me just cut to the chase. He says here, I want you to put your career on the line at WrestleMania. Meaning that if he beats me at WrestleMania, I will never compete in this ring again. Dave, you beat up a 70-year-old man 1 year after being on his deathbed. You put him back in the hospital, all in a lame attempt to get yourself a match at WrestleMania. I then agreed to go to MetLife Stadium, on the biggest stage that there is, 75,000 people there.
Maybe.
WrestleMania. I agreed to it, and yet you send this letter because this is what you do. This is just another attempt by you to quit. I am not going to let you quit this time, Dave. I'm gonna make you stand up to your commitment. I'm gonna make you show up. You see, you believe I'm obsessed with you. Here's the thing, Dave. I don't give a crap about you. I never have. There is no obsession. The only thing I am obsessed with, I am obsessed with kicking your ass. And to be honest, if at this point in your career and in my career, I cannot beat a self-deluded like you,
They bleeped douchebag?
then I'd have no business being in this ring anyways. You want my career on the line at WrestleMania, Dave? You got it.
They bleeped out douchebag. Wow. They bleeped out douchebag. Because douchebag is a bad word. Don't say it, kids. Don't say douchebag. It's a bad word. Bad word. Naughty, naughty. So, they're going to have the match. Now Triple H's career is on the line. Okay. I still don't think this match is going to be very good. It's interesting because of the names. The entrances will probably be pretty damn cool. Batista's entrance in his shorts. Triple H probably will come in some sort of Harley with a jacket, and maybe Stephanie will be there. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll get there. It's again something that I'm not like, oh my god, I'm so over the moon for this. Can I get it, please? So one more time for Elias. This time he's showing that he's got tons of money and he can make more at WrestleMania. And some guy just runs up and steals it. He's like, it's okay, I'll make more at WrestleMania, which he probably will. Drew McIntyre, Dean Ambrose, last man standing match. They gave this match 15 minutes. They didn't give it as much as they did, and it was not as good as their no holds barred Falls Count Anywhere match. Just nowhere near what that one was. But there was a couple good spots. Drew putting the kendo stick right into the face of Dean and just doing that. The table spot looked really good. But Dean, he countered a hold, hit the dirty deeds. McIntyre put him through a table that Dean put into the ring. And then he nails him with the Claymore kick to get the 10 count and to win the last man standing match. Drew wins clean as a whistle. So next week's the go home show. So excuse me. I expect more talking. I expect more of what we got this week. Look, I'm just going to be real with you guys. This week's Raw was rubbish. It was rubbish. It was not good. It was less than mediocre. Not bad, but not good. It was that middle of the road, like just below mediocre. I won't tell you this is the worst Raw ever, but it was just makes me look forward to next week. No, actually, it makes me think next week's gonna be probably even worse. But I am done. Okay, I am absolutely done here. You guys can obviously you guys can follow me on everything. This was your Raw review. Thank you everyone for coming in and joining me. Like I said, you guys can go to our Twitter, you can go to our Facebook at YoBro Gaming 1 and at YoBro Nation. Remember TeePublic at YoBro Nation 1. I am Zach with the YoBro Nation YouTube channel. I will see all of you guys later. And good night. See you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live.